In the world of videography and photography, there's a lot to keep track of. Camera settings, lighting, composition, audio, and of course, the client's expectations. But no matter how experienced you are, mistakes happen. And some mistakes, they can cost you big time. I'm Michael from Messenger Bag Media, and today we're breaking down the biggest equipment mistakes we've made as videographers and photographers, and more importantly, how you can avoid making the same ones. So stick around because this is going to save you a ton of frustration, time, and money down the road. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like if you find it helpful. Let's jump in. Mistake 1, buying cheap SD cards. One of the worst mistakes you can make as a videographer or photographer is relying on cheap SD cards. Early on, we thought, hey, a 128 gig SD card for 20 bucks? What a deal. Spoiler alert, it was not a deal. It was a disaster. The card corrupted shortly after a shoot, and we lost everything. Luckily, that shoot was for a close friend who was understanding, but if it was for a major new client, you could probably consider that relationship over. Cheap SD cards often have slow write speeds, meaning they can't keep up with high bitrate footage. They're also more prone to failure, and trust us, you don't want to find that out after an important shoot. Lesson learned, always buy high-speed, brand-name SD cards with high write speeds like V90 rated cards for video. If your camera allows it, shoot on dual SD slots with mirroring mode so you always have a backup. Mistake 2, not using a white balance card. Ever spent way too much time in post trying to fix weird skin tones? We have. That's what happens when you don't set your white balance correctly. We used to just rely on auto white balance, but in changing lighting conditions, the camera would constantly shift colors between shots. This made color grading in post-production a nightmare. Lesson learned, always use a white balance card at the start of a shoot. Take a second to set a proper custom white balance, especially if you're in mixed lighting. If you don't have a card, use something neutral like a piece of white paper. It's a small step that makes a huge difference. Mistake 3, not having extra batteries. Nothing kills a shoot faster than a dead battery. You may see the reported battery life for your camera and think it'll be good enough for a shoot, but when you're rolling and you've got someone on camera giving a great interview or a great take, the last thing you want to do is interrupt the momentum because you need to swap batteries, or even worse, you need to take a break to charge. When we first started, we only had 2 batteries, and now we have 8. And we always make sure to pop a fresh, fully charged battery in before starting a long interview segment. Lesson learned, always carry multiple fully charged batteries and a charger. You never know when you'll be stuck without an outlet or need to film for longer than expected. Mistake 4, not having backup audio. There's nothing worse than coming home from a shoot and realizing your audio is unusable. Maybe the lav mic cut out. Maybe the recorder picked up interference. Maybe someone bumped the mic and caused distortion. We were once filming a live event and one of the speakers jostled his mic and it lost the connection to the wireless transmitter. Since it was live in front of an audience, we couldn't just stop everything. But thankfully, we had all the other speakers around him mic'd up, preventing total disaster. Lesson learned, always have backup audio. If you're using a lav mic, run a shotgun mic as a secondary source. If possible, record into multiple devices. Even using your phone as a microphone is a decent backup rather than having nothing at all. Mistake 5, not being focused on the client. When you're a videographer or aspiring content creator who watches a lot of YouTube, it can be easy to start to think of yourself purely in relation to the gear you have. What camera do you have? What lenses are you using? What lights? What mics? And on and on and on. And while gear is important, when it comes to working with clients, you have to remember that you're more than just your gear. You're selling a service and you're selling a relationship. Sure, you're there to capture everything and then edit it, but it can be arguably more important to ensure that you have a good relationship with the client. We do a lot of corporate videography at Messenger Bag Media, which often involves interviewing subjects on camera. A lot of times, they may never have been on camera, or certainly don't have a lot of experience. The most important thing you can do is to make the person on camera feel comfortable so that you get the best, most natural looking and sounding answers out of them. This means making sure that your phone is away the entire time and actually engaging by nodding along with what they're saying. Lesson learned: show a genuine curiosity and ask thoughtful follow-up questions in relation to what they just said. It's also extremely helpful if you properly explain the purpose of the video and how it will be used to the subject before you begin the interview. By telling them how the video will be used and the types of answers you may be looking for, you're helping the subject feel more comfortable, and you're helping them help you by providing even better answers on screen. So yes, while the gear you have is certainly important, it doesn't matter if all you're doing is capturing low quality answers. Mistakes are part of the learning process, but if you can avoid them before they happen, you'll save yourself a ton of time, frustration, and maybe even some expensive reshoots. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro, we hope these lessons help you sharpen your skills and work more efficiently. Have you ever made one of these mistakes? Or do you have a videography horror story of your own? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear what you've learned the hard way. And if there are any other topics you'd like us to cover, let us know. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. It's one of the best ways you can support the channel. And if you're into videography, photography, and behind the scenes insights from a real working media agency, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.